Maya Brooks walked into her bedroom on a Tuesday morning and found her husband in bed with her sister. Not a stranger, not a colleague. Her sister, the sister she had shared a bedroom with for 14 years. The sister she had driven to college. The sister she had loaned money to 3 times and never once asked for it back. That sister, in her house, in her bed, with her husband. She did not scream, she did not throw anything. She pulled the door closed, walked out of her own house, got into her car, drove to the end of the street, and sat there for 45 minutes. Before we continue, drop a comment right now and let us know where in the world you are watching from. And if you are not subscribed to Turning Point Tales yet, hit that subscribe button right now. You do not want to miss how this story ends. Maya Brooks was 37 years old. She worked as a hospital administrator, a job that required her to hold complicated situations together with precision and calm. She was good at it. She had been good at holding things together her entire life. She had grown up the oldest of 3 children in a household that ran on her mother's discipline and her father's absence. Her father had left when she was 11. Her mother had worked double shifts at a nursing home for 6 years to keep the 3 of them stable. Maya had absorbed the lesson early. You show up, you hold it together. You do not fall apart, because falling apart is a luxury that other people's situations do not accommodate. She had met Carter Brooks at 28. He was steady and present and made her feel, for the first time in her adult life, that she did not have to hold everything alone, that there was someone beside her who would carry their share without being asked. They had married at 30, 7 years, no children yet. They had been trying for 2 of those years, and the trying had been quiet and private and more difficult than either of them had talked about openly. Maya had believed in her marriage, completely, without reservation, the way only people who have never had reason to doubt do. Simone Brooks was 32 years old and 5 years Maya's junior. She was the youngest of the 3 siblings, charming, impulsive, and had spent most of her adult life making decisions that felt right in the moment and costly 6 months later. She loved Maya. That was the part that made it incomprehensible. She genuinely loved her older sister. But Simone had always had a particular quality, the ability to want something and then construct a reason why wanting it was acceptable. She had been doing it her whole life with smaller things, borrowing without asking, arriving late and blaming traffic, choosing herself in moments that required her to choose someone else. And somewhere along the way, with Carter, she had done it with the biggest thing. Maya found out later that it had been going on for 9 months. 9 months, family dinners, holiday gatherings, a birthday party Maya had organized for Simone where Carter had given a toast about family being everything. 9 months of that. But on that Tuesday morning, she did not know any of the details yet. She just knew what she had seen. And she sat at the end of the street for 45 minutes. Then she drove to Aunt Patricia's house. Aunt Patricia was 61 years old and had seen most things. She was Maya's mother's older sister, the woman who had been the family's anchor for 40 years, through every crisis and every celebration, with the same steady energy and the same direct way of saying what needed to be said. Maya knocked on the door. Patricia opened it, looked at Maya's face, said, "Come inside." She did not ask what happened. She made tea, set it in front of Maya, sat across from her. Maya sat with her hands around the cup for a long time. Then she said it. Just the facts. No drama in the delivery, just the facts. Patricia listened without interrupting. When Maya finished, Patricia was quiet for a moment. Then she said, "Where are you staying tonight?" Maya said, "Here, if that is okay." Patricia said, "Your room is always ready." Then Patricia picked up her phone, called Maya's mother, said 4 words, "You need to come." Maya stared at the table. She had not considered her mother yet. She had not considered what this meant for her mother, who had 2 daughters, and had just been informed, without words, that those 2 daughters could no longer exist in the same room. Carter called at 2 in the afternoon. Maya did not answer. He called 3 more times before 5. She did not answer. At 6:15, a message came from Simone. Maya looked at the notification, put the phone face down, went to bed at 8. She lay in the dark in Patricia's spare room, stared at the ceiling, thought about 9 months of family dinners, the birthday toast. Every time Carter had said, "I love you," before she fell asleep. Every time Simone had hugged her goodbye at the door. She did not cry that night. She would later, but not that night. That night she was doing something else. She was deciding. She answered Carter's call the next morning. He asked where she was. She said, "Somewhere safe." He said her name, said, "We need to talk. I need to explain." She said, "There is nothing to explain. I saw what I saw." He said, "Maya, it was a mistake. It did not mean," she said, 9 months is not a mistake. A moment is a mistake. 9 months is a choice." Silence. She said, "I want you out of the house by Friday. I will come back Saturday." He said, "Maya, please." She ended the call, then she called her attorney. Simone came to Aunt Patricia's house on Thursday. Patricia opened the door. Simone asked if Maya was there. Patricia said yes. Simone said she needed to talk to her. Patricia said, "She knows you're here. She'll come down if she wants to." Simone waited in the living room for 20 minutes. Maya came downstairs, sat across from her sister. Simone started talking immediately. She said she was sorry. She said she had not planned it. She said it had just happened. Maya looked at her, said nothing. Simone said, "I know what I did was wrong." She said, "But you have to understand." Maya said, "I do not have to understand anything." Simone said, "He was not happy. He told me things were..." Maya said, "Stop. Just that word, stop." Simone stopped. Maya said, "I drove you to college. I paid your rent when you lost your job. I threw you a birthday party, and your boyfriend stood in my house and toasted to family." She said, "You do not get to explain this to me. There is no explanation that changes what it is." Simone began crying. Maya stood up, said, "I need you to leave now." Simone said through tears, "Maya, please, you are my sister. You can't just..." Maya said, "I know exactly who you are to me." She said, "That is exactly why this is what it is." She walked back upstairs. Patricia showed Simone to the door, did not say a word. The divorce was filed 6 weeks later. Carter did not contest it. He hired an attorney who advised him clearly that contesting would produce nothing good. The proceedings were clean and quiet. The house was sold, the assets divided. The marriage of 7 years reduced to paperwork and signatures. Maya signed the final papers on a Wednesday morning. She had slept well the night before. She noted that. Her attorney, a woman named Diane who had handled divorces for 20 years, told Maya afterwards that she had been her most composed client in recent memory. Maya said, "I decided a long time ago that I was not going to perform my pain for people who had already decided what they wanted." Diane looked at her, said, "You're going to be okay." Maya said, "I know. Now here is where the story takes its turn." 6 months after the divorce was finalized, Carter and Simone made their relationship public. They posted a photograph together on social media, smiling, in a restaurant Maya recognized as their anniversary spot. The response from people who knew them was not what Simone had anticipated. Mutual friends, people who had attended the wedding, people who had sat at those family dinners, went quiet. Not loudly, not dramatically. Just quiet. Invitations stopped arriving. Group chats went unanswered. The social warmth that Simone had always taken for granted, because it had always been there, began to cool. She had not anticipated that. She had told herself that once things were in the open, people would adjust. That love was love. That people would understand. People understood perfectly. That was the problem. Carter began to change too, not immediately. But within 8 months of their relationship going public, Simone started noticing things. The same distance she had once attributed to his marriage, the not fully present quality, was still there, still in him, directed at her now. She had assumed that once they were free, once the secrecy was gone, it would be different. That the distance was about the situation, not about him. She had been wrong. By month 10, she and Carter had their first serious argument. By month 14, they were arguing regularly. By month 16, Carter moved out of the apartment they had rented together. He did not fight for it. He just left. The same way he had eventually left everything. Simone called their mother when it happened. Her mother listened, said, "I love you, but I cannot tell you I am surprised." Simone called Aunt Patricia. Patricia said, "I love you." but this is not a conversation I am able to have with you right now. She called 2 friends. Both of them said kind things. Neither of them came over. She sat in the apartment alone. For the first time in her life, truly alone with what she had done. No Carter, no Maya, no family warmth to absorb the impact. Just her. And the specific silence of a life where you have spent what did not belong to you. Maya was in a different city by then. She had taken a senior position at a hospital system in Charlotte, a role she had been considered for before the marriage ended and had hesitated on because Carter had not wanted to move. She called them back 3 weeks after signing the divorce papers, said she was available. They offered her the role the same afternoon. She moved in February. She found an apartment with a balcony that looked over a park. She bought plants. She joined a running group on Saturday mornings. She made 2 friends in the first 3 months. Real ones, the kind that come from showing up consistently and being exactly who you are. She thought about Carter sometimes, less than she expected. She thought about Simone more. Not with anger, or not only with anger, with the specific grief of someone who lost a relationship they cannot fully replace. You can find another husband. You cannot find another sister. That grief was real. She did not pretend it was not. She sat with it on Sunday mornings with her coffee on the balcony. She let it be what it was, and then she went about her week. Simone reached out 14 months after Carter left. A letter, not a text, not an email, a handwritten letter, 4 pages. Maya received it on a Thursday. She made coffee, sat at the kitchen table, read it slowly. It did not make excuses. That was the first thing she noticed. There were no explanations, no versions of events that softened what had happened. Just, I did this. I knew it was wrong while I was doing it. I chose it anyway. I am not asking you to forgive me. I am asking you to know that I understand what I did. Maya read it twice. She did not respond immediately. She thought about it for 3 weeks. Then she wrote back. 2 pages. She did not say she forgave Simone. She was not there yet, and she was not going to lie about it. But she wrote the letter because the silence between them, permanent and sealed, was not something she was willing to choose. Not yet. Maybe not ever. But not today. Maya Brooks was 39 years old when she looked back at everything that had happened. She had lost a marriage. She had lost the uncomplicated version of her relationship with her sister. She had lost 2 years of trying for a baby with a man who had been somewhere else the whole time. What she had not lost was herself. She had walked out of her own house on a Tuesday morning without screaming, without performing her pain for people who had already decided what they wanted, without becoming someone she did not recognize. She had sat at the end of the street for 45 minutes. Then she had driven to the one person she knew would make tea and not ask the wrong questions. And she had built from there, one decision at a time, one day at a time, from a balcony in Charlotte that looked over a park, with plants she had not killed yet, and 2 friends who showed up, and Saturday morning runs that were hers, completely hers. There is a kind of strength that does not announce itself. It does not throw things. It does not scream. It does not perform. It just walks out the door, gets in the car, drives to the end of the street, and decides. If you enjoyed this story, please like this video and subscribe to Turning Point Tales. We will see you in